So the house right behind me is where T.H. White lived, Terence Sambury Wright. He was born in 1906 in India, and in 1939 he moved to Ireland, and he kept writing famous books.
Well, I happened to write a book which I enjoyed writing, and I had £100 in the world, and this book was then the book of the month.
Which book?
It was called The Sword and the Stone, and then I spent all that money, or gave it to the income tax people, and got poorer and poorer again, and then sat down and wrote another book, feeling very poor but happy, and this was again the book of the month.
And he moved to Alderney in 1946 for the rest of his life, and he carried on writing here too. He died in 1964 and he's buried in Athens in Greece. The house behind me was bought by Julie Andrews in the 1960s, and she was a famous actress, a Hollywood actress. She starred in The Sound of Music, a very famous film.
Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so, tea, a drink with jam and bread, that will bring us back to dough. Oh, oh, oh.
And she's called Alderney, my paradise.
Wombles are Wimbledon, common are we. Making good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folks leave behind.
I'm in Little Street. Behind me is the house that Elizabeth Berriford used to live in. She created the Wombles. They were a famous TV children's program in the 1980s and 90s.
Remember, 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 remember. Remember you're a Womble. 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 Remember, remember, remember what a Womble, Womble, Womble you are.
She died over here 2010. I'm in Lungy Road that Jalalut used to live in. He was a famous cricket commentator for 34 years. He retired in 1980.
To be a commentator, you don't necessarily have to have been a top player. And some of the top players also were bad coaches. But I think you have to understand it and love it, want to talk about it. But you've got to understand the problems. If you can do that, if you know what the problems are, this enables you to understand the performer and to be sympathetic and to be talking about what he's feeling, which is the essential part about a commentary, I believe.
He died in 1991 from emphysema. That means bad lungs, because he spoke too much. married in Alderney Church.
Close and good one for both them. 6 wickets in the West Indies innings.
I'm now near Malay Lighthouse, and the house behind me is where Ian Botham lives. He bought this as a summer home in the 1990s, but he doesn't live here anymore. He sold it. He lives in Yorkshire, but he still comes to Alderney sometimes. Did you know he's a very good fisherman, and he was a very good footballer at school? High Hill in Alderney to show you the house behind me. It was owned by George Martin, very famous producer, a musician and composer, and he produced all the Beatles records. Played on many Beatles records. Bought the house in the 1980s until he died in 2016. He was 90 years old. And he died in Cold Hill, where he's buried.